Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Kakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS, whom rule well, teach well, being great examples to us younger brothers. And peace and blessing salutations to hopeful leg out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful leg, the believers, the listeners, whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Shem Al Shah. You know, this a quick live stream, man. You know, just to give another perspective, okay, of what we see going on, okay, because the most circulating story right now is the whole Russia invading Ukraine situation, and what we have to understand is the American media, okay, is going to spin a lot of propaganda, okay? We're finna see the American media push a lot of propaganda, okay, for other purposes that have nothing to do with the war, all right? And one thing about, Esau's propaganda machine, especially here in America, is soon as something happened, okay, they already start fabricating, different crises, okay? And what's the thing that we've been hearing? Gas prices gonna skyrocket, okay? What else we've been hearing? Inflation, you see? And they're doing this thing because they want to crash the world economy. And what we have to understand is Russia, okay, are controlled by the elites as well. All right, so the Russians play a part in this whole global scheme of crashing the world economy. Okay, and one thing about it, like I said, this whole thing with we talked about it, they need a new narrative now. You don't hear about the old narrative like that no more. All of a sudden, this big crisis, and if you don't take the juice, you're going to die, and 200,000 people going to die from the juice in December, and, all this propaganda they was pushing, they done threw that away. This is their new narrative, man. Okay? And Russia is the new boogeyman, and Putin going to be the face of it. And Putin is finna play the role that Hitler played in World War II, the villain. Okay? When you hear mainstream media speak on Putin, they're going to speak of him as a murderer, inhumane. Get used to hearing them words: a murderer, inhumane, unjustified war. Okay? Get used to hearing those terms attached to Putin's name. Okay? Putin is playing the role that Hitler played in World War II as the villain and the bad guy. Okay? Get used to the phrase Nazi Putin. It's going to be major propaganda. Okay? Because like right now, if there's a cyber attack, who they going to blame? They going to blame Putin, the new Hitler. Okay? And what we have to understand, they'll tell you that the stock market's done drop. Well, when the stock markets drop, guess who buy all the stocks? Okay? The banking elites and their underlings. Okay? They profit off of war. What you have to understand is, I want you brothers and sisters, if you can, watch this documentary on YouTube called All Wars Are Banker Wars. Okay? All wars are banker wars, and it's going to go from the American Revolution all the way to, okay, the invasion of Iraq, and how the bankers manipulated and played both sides. Okay? The bankers are behind Russia as well. They play both sides. But see, what's going to happen is as they try to control this war, it's gonna get out of control. Well, just know this is all part of major propaganda. Okay? This is all a part of a global agenda. You see? And what's going to happen, hey, these nations gonna get off script. They gonna start off on script, you know, doing particular things, but then after a while, they gonna get off script, man. Okay? They probably told Russia, look, just invade this, take this, you know, because you gotta understand, Ukraine, the way they play Ukraine, America and NATO was saying, well, look, we gonna make Ukraine a NATO nation. That's what they were saying. That's what they was pushing. And they was putting weapons in Ukraine. Okay? But now, if you listen to Biden, as Ukraine, all right, is getting pummeled, Biden said, well, we're going to put sanctions on Russia, and as long as they don't invade a NATO nation, now they just hands off with Ukraine. You see that? And no American troops going to Ukraine. You got American troops in these other NATO nations, but ain't no American troops going to Ukraine. Okay? Ukraine was just a pawn, like Taiwan. Like you see the picture with the Taiwan president. I think she's a woman. I think it's a woman. Okay? Smiling with, you know, these American diplomats. Well, when China started busting up Taiwan, America not gonna get in that, man. Okay? It's all propaganda, and they don't give a damn about these countries. They just trying to position themselves in this war, man. You see? So what we have to understand, and pretty much Russia, Putin is making a demand for Ukraine to declare that it's going to be neutral. Because see, the whole thing is between Russia, NATO, America, and the EU. Ukraine just got through in the mix. Okay? And Russia and Putin pretty much telling Ukraine, like, look, just make it official that you're going to be neutral in this situation. And that you're not going to allow any weapons from the West, okay, to be stationed in Ukraine. So Putin pretty much telling Ukraine, look, stay your ass out of this, man. Okay? It's way bigger than the Ukraine. All right? And Putin is pretty much trying to tell Ukraine, sit your ass down. Okay? And Ukraine, you got to understand how Ukraine is feeling right now. They're being taken over, okay, because of something that another country did. All right? And then with these sanctions, these EU nations ain't in agreement with all these sanctions being put on Russia because it affects them. Okay? So, and it's a major sanctions being put on Russia, man. You know, Lord will, you know, probably Elder Ariala go into it, you know, dealing with these banking systems, because you have the SWIFT banking system, and pretty much, you know, that's how you make major purchases in the earth. You know, it's through those SWIFT banking systems, man. All right? Just say, you know, a country wanted to buy, you know, 4 million tons, okay, of steel from another country. Well, that transaction would have to be overseen by this SWIFT, you know, banking system. Okay? And America runs that. And that's why America, because you will wonder, well, how can America put sanctions on all these different nations? That's because America oversees that SWIFT banking system, okay, that these nations use to make major transactions, man. Okay? So Biden has shut Russia out of that, man. So here it is. America steady poking the bear, but Ukraine and eventually these EU nations, they ain't gonna be affected by it, man. Okay? Here it is a nation that's already been backed into a corner, and now they coming out that corner, and now you gonna starve it? Okay? Imagine a starving bear in the woods, a bear that's starving, you know, and it's been poked, and you know, it's constantly being poked and pricked there, and it's starving. You see? And it's gonna be an aggression. That's why we're finna see an aggression from Russia, okay, like never before. But it's all prophesied, man. But we have to remember that the American media is finna spin major propaganda, and now they can come with all type of crisis and blame it on Russia. Right now, they just hyping up Putin to be the villain, the bad guy. Okay, he's the new Hitler. Okay, for this World War narrative, they're gonna call him a murderer, inhumane, and they're gonna put that term Nazi on him. All right. And everything that happened in America, everything bad that happened in America, they're going to blame it on Putin now. It was the Crown Vic. Okay, well, that narrative played out. Now, the new narrative is Putin. So, just pay attention to how this devil, you know, starts spinning all these different narratives off this one situation, man. And I'll say if you brothers can watch that documentary, All Wars Are Banking Wars. All right, it's a very in-depth documentary, and he goes in, he thoroughly breaks it down. Okay, well, you can have understanding of what's going on during war. That's when millionaires become billionaires and billionaires become trillionaires. Okay, it's a big racket. And with war, the people are in so much fear, you can create major changes in the earth. Okay? You can break down whole systems and bring in new systems. So this MOTB system, okay, is one of those systems that they want to bring in. All right? So prepare to see major propaganda being pushed by America, and they finna come up with all type of narratives off of this situation, man. Okay? And that's pretty much it, man. I just want to put that out there because you're gonna hear all, because I was listening to the mainstream to see what the I listened to the alternative media to kind of get the, you know, the real skinny on what's going on, and then I listened to the major media, okay, the mainstream media to see what propaganda they pushing, okay. And I was listening to, and they just kept saying, you know, Putin inhumane and he's a murderer and kids are dying. You know they're gonna throw that in there. Kids are dying, you know. All right. You probably gonna show some footage of just babies just sprawled out over the streets, you know, with there's a Russian flag just gonna so happen to be on the wall somewhere, you know. All this propaganda, man. All right. So just pay attention to the propaganda and pay attention to what they constantly repeat. Okay, that's the propaganda. What they have on repeat is the propaganda. You know, and they pretty much telling you what this event is going to cause, man. So hey, it's finna get tight. All right, and we're finna see major change in the earth. You know, but remember, it's still a thing of patience, man. Still, you know, we gotta wait this thing out, man. The end is not yet. It's close, but it's not yet. You know. So Lord will you brothers and you few sisters edified. Till the next time I say Shalom. Kwam Yashala Bible Ball DTA soon.